Hello, everyone. Uh, it is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and I have baking to do. Yes, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. Yes, with our homegrown pumpkins here. Uh, Swiss apple pie. Yes, because that's what I know how to make best, and it's one of my son's favorites. So I'm going to make the cranberry sauce, which we also make from scratch with fresh cranberries, an orange with the peel, a lemon with the peel, some sugar, and some nuts. And you can use whatever nuts you want. Pecans are really good, so I use those this time. And that's about it. And it makes the best cranberry sauce. And I put it in a blender. Cha 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 cha. Yes. And the best way it works is if the cranberries are frozen. Yeah, yes. Um, and then I'm going to make the chocolate mousse as well. Yes, that's one of our my whole family's one of our favorite desserts. Chocolate mousse with lots of whipped cream in it. Yeah. Anywho, so there it is. That's what I am going to make today. Yes, and my daughter's going to make her favorite and famous peanut butter pie. I'm not a big fan of peanut butter, but I sure love that pie. Anyway, and it's all going to be gluten free. Yes, my daughter otherwise can't eat any of it. It's after her pregnancy and some of the complications she had with a blood clot and then had to take this ridiculous amount of aspirin that she had to inject actually every day twice. I think has caused some allergic reaction in the form of gluten. She didn't have this problem before, yet now she is basically headache free, yes, and hasn't had a migraine. So, and as soon as she even just a little bit, it's amazing on how allergic she actually has become to gluten. And we've tried it out. And is it really the gluten? Is it really? It definitely is. It's affecting her system so negatively now that so, but it's easy. Yeah, gluten-free pie shells, blah 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 blah, this that, right? And I am not really trying to figure out anymore on how to bake all that stuff. It's out there. There is some really good things, good products out there that one can substitute now for regular flour, and that is already kind of comes in a box, and I'm going with it. It's much easier than trying to figure out why did that rise again now. Anywho, so there it is. Yes, don't have to complicate your life unnecessarily, right? Yes? Okay, if there's another way. So, let's get to a comment in my last video. Uh, I read it and I had to kind of chuckle and I'm going, well, you can't. Uh, Boy, would that be a surprise if everyone were to agree with me, right? Or I'd always say everything right so that everyone understands it properly, or this or that. But there came something up in that comment, right? Yes. Besides the a little bit offensive first part, that I absolutely 100% agree with. And it's sadly this phenomenon. I can call it a phenomenon, atrocity, just horrific thing that in, comes with being a pedophile out there, abusing children in the sexual realm, in the realm of love, is it's how how does anyone, any adult, even have the slightest thought of doing that? What is that? I think Ham's out there. Gus is I don't know if Gus is wagging his tail. He's laying there. There's nothing going on except for me talking. And he's wagging his tail while I'm probably going, yeah, yeah, you tell them, yeah. But dear Lord, no, we don't do that to our young. Ah, yeah, interesting. There's not an animal out there that does that to their young. And this person brought up, it's a he, I think it's a he, I'm hoping it, because I called him brother later, said that the hundreds and hundreds of thousands, okay, he says, he uses a biblical not 144,000 children, boys, altar boys out there that have been abused by priests, sexually abused, pedophiles. And I can't disagree. And I went in, I said, I absolutely agree. What still baffles me today, though, is why are parents still letting their boys become altar boys? Do you know for sure? Right. I'm just saying. There's an easy way to for that to not happen again, ever. In the Catholic Church, maybe in other religions or other, whatever, when it comes to all that, where you don't use boys anymore for that service. How about strong, burly fathers stand next to them priests? Yes? And not every priest is a bad priest either. It's again so sad that well, it seems to be a way more, excuse me, widespread problem out there than people even realize. But again, there's a simple way to fix that. You really have to see them little boys up there doing that, the standing next to, and doing whatever little job it is that they're doing. Really? What for? If there is this danger where they could be sexually abused by the one who's actually giving you a message from God, or reads out of the Bible, or does the Mass. Just saying. Why not just have? Well, you know what? We're not going to have little boys doing that anymore. Or girls. Girls can do it too now. Have the strongest men perform that service. I think that would be kind of cool to see boys and girls see their fathers serving like that in the presence of God. Yes? Oh, problem solved? Why hasn't that been done immediately after the first case came out and shoveled under the rug? Why not? I don't get it. Why not? The guy isn't wrong. But I like to bring up something else then here too, which again, I feel like even though the comment was to upset me, and as I read it and then I'm going to think about it, and I'm going, well, I'm not going to be upset over something that the guy isn't wrong, right? Okay, I don't think I'm delusional, but that part, as I said, it's like the first part of it could have been the guiding part in my ego and go, I'm not even, right? Yes, but I'm not like that. I looked at the rest of what he said, and I've mentioned that before. I mean, it's not like, but there's one thing that has come to my attention, and this comment kind of got me back on track on that, to mention it today, especially the day before Thanksgiving. And that is, how about the nuns, the friars, the brothers of their monks. Okay, monks. What are they called? padres, this and that. Yeah? Yes? Whatever is the opposite of nun, or when it comes to, not the opposite, in the male version of a nun. Yes, yeah, okay, all right. Who came to this country, nuns and these brothers, religious brothers, okay, friars, padres, Franciscan, and took the children from our Native American people here and put them in schools and banned, listen to this, banned for them to speak their own language. That's ridiculous. Who came up with that? And that's what? That's good in the sight of God? Are you people serious? Who let this even happen at that time? And another thing, they weren't allowed to have their long hair. There was actually a bill put in place that Native Americans weren't allowed to have long hair. Kind of crazy crap is that? All in the name of God. Yes, and I've no doubt how many of them were abused sexually while they were in these schools, this and that. Just saying. Yes. Religions. He mentioned all the other religions. You know what? It's true. There are so many atrocities that happened in the name of God. That's why I'm reading the Bible here. For the reputation of God. And things come up. I'm quite pleased that this guy had the guts to come in and say something. Yeah, in the comment. Yeah, okay. Did I like the first part? Because it's true. And we should really look at ourselves on what, as Christians, even as Muslims, as Jews, what we think we're doing so right. That is actually so wrong and has been so wrong. I'm going to mention one more thing and I'm going to read. The president supposedly met with this Arab prince, whatever, and did. And then it says, it got tense when it came to when they started talking about Israel. Yeah, you know why? Why that is? Has anyone ever thought on apologizing? Has Israel ever thought on apologizing to all the nations around them that in their Torah, in the Old Testament, had been or described as what? Do you think that people like that? If they're not Israelites? If they're not from Israel? If they're not Jews? I'm just saying. And yet, and that's still out there. That's still being taught. Oh, the Arabs were this. The people of Cush were that. The Egyptians were this and that. And I don't know what. The Philistines. I'm just saying. Who are these people today? And this is still being taught to Christians as well. It's in our Bible. So the Old Testament is plenty used in everyone's church out there when it comes to a Christian church, Catholic church, whatever. It's a slap in the face to our Middle Eastern brothers and sisters. I'm just saying. That's still being taught out there. Oh, but we don't. Well, you know what? I guess there has to be a change made. If one wants to actually be at peace with other people around us and not still keep them as enemies, because that's what we're doing when we're doing that. Aren't we? When you think on how the Bible came to be, and then on how the Quran came to be, it's like they offset each other in a way. As well, if you're having this about our people, we're going to have this about your people. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. We as Christians, as the descendants of our ancestors, Christians, Jews, and whoever, when it comes to all that, we have a lot to atone for and restore. Number one thing, admit to it. Yeah, that shouldn't be a part of our religion. Never, ever. And definitely was never implemented by our heavenly parent. It's all man made. Okay, set that. Now let's get going. So, thank you to, I think his name is Martin, for your comment because, yes, it encouraged me to, and kind of got my head, yep, okay, here we go. Message, Martin, guess where I got this message from? To then give it as I did. I did go in, though, too, at the end, and say, the thing is, though, and it sure sounds like he's not a believer, okay? Maybe I don't want to say that he's an atheist, but it sounded like, nope, not going with that stuff of yours. I also have to say, though, with everything that he brought up, who harbors more pedophiles? My world, then, under the umbrella of God, or yours? Yes, it's not as if all these things didn't happen, did happen outside of that. So, it's about working together, not separate things out so that you can point the finger. Yes? All right. Especially when it comes to that. Also said, if I had my way, any caught pedophile would be immediately castrated. No. There is no excuse. There's no, oh, this or that. There's no excuse. And since, from what I've seen, it's a drive that they can't control, well, then let's help them control it. And at least, well, I also think that they should never be out on the street again. Okay, I'm just saying, it's not, this is, no, children, when adults attack children like that should be taken way more seriously than it is. Just saying, that's my opinion. Yes. All right, so we are in the book of Isaiah 23, against Tyre. Proclamation about Tyre, or is it Tyre? Howl, ships of Tarshish, for all has been destroyed. No more houses, no way of getting in. The news has reached them from Kittim. Be struck dumb, inhabitants of the coast, you merchants of Sidon, whose messengers crossed the sea to the wide ocean, the grain of the canal, the harvest of the Nile, formed her revenue. She was the market for the nations. Blush, Sidon, citadel of the seas. For this is what the sea has said. I felt no birth pangs, never given birth, never reared boys, nor brought up girls. What? When the news reaches Egypt, they will tremble to hear Tyre's fate. Cross to Tarshish, howl, inhabitants of the coast. What is this now? I said, I don't know if Isaiah was on something or not, or he was just, I don't know. Whatever. Is this your proud city, founded for far back in the past, whose steps led her far afield to found her colonies? Who took this decision against Tyre? Who used to hand out crowns? Whose traders were princes? Whose merchants men honored in the city? This sounds to me like it has something to do with trade. And boy, just like when you invent something and people go for it, you become rich, right? Yeah, no, I did not. I did never invent anything that, And when you consider, right, there's probably a lot of people feel just like Isaiah when it comes to an American product that they made and they can't make the money they want to make because we're getting all this stuff from China. Yes, China doing really, really well with all that. Am I seeing a little bit of that jealousy and that unhappiness over on what people desire, ra- rather than help out their own people? Yeah, okay, just saying, right? Yeah, so that will have consequences, Isaiah says. I don't know. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Again, if the people didn't want it, it wouldn't exist. If people were to be willing to, okay, are Americans making better products now? I don't know. I find that just about anything that was made in about 50 years ago or something is has a stronger shelf life. Okay, has a stronger life when it comes to wear and tear than anything made these days. Yeah, yes, yeah. Anyway, so sounds a little like this, doesn't it? Yeah. I do. I do check things if they are made in China. Not against the Chinese people. It's just I do like to support my own people, and I do try to find American-made products where it doesn't just say, "Yeah, beware of that one too." American-made doesn't necessarily mean that all that it's just assembled in the United States. Everything else is done outside of the States. I try to find genuine, yes, articles made here in the United States. Yes. Not always successful because sadly a lot of things now that one needs or wants or desires aren't made in the United States anymore. Yes? Okay, so trade. It sounds like this has a little bit to do with trade. We better get going here. Yahweh Sabaoth took his decision to wither the pride of all beauty and humiliate those honored in the city. Cultivate your country like the Delta, daughter of Tarshish, for your marine docks are no more. Oh, see, I think he has raised his hand against the sea. Yeah, this sounds like trade. He has shaken kingdoms. Yahweh has ordained the destruction of the fortresses of Canaan. He has said, exalt no more, ill-treated virgin daughter of Sidon. Get up, to Kittim. No respite for you there either. Look at the land of the Chaldeans, a people who used not to exist. Assyria assigned it to the creatures of the wilds. They raised their siege towers against it, demolished its bastions, reduced it to ruin. Howl, ships of Tarshish, for your fortress has been destroyed. When that day comes, Tyre will be forgotten for 70 years, the length of one king's life. But when the 70 years are over, Tyre will become like the whore in the song. Dear Lord, I thought, ugh. Take your harp, walk to the town, whore whom men have forgotten. Play sweetly song after song to make them remember you. I don't get it why they have to use uh, constantly the sentiment of women to in this just awful negative way, right? Yes, yeah. What can't one say it in a different way? Also, I kind of had to. Okay, what is he talking about here? Okay. At the end of the 70 years, Yahweh will visit Tyre. She will receive her pay again and play the whore with all the kingdoms of the world on the surface of the earth. Ooh. But her profits and wages will be dedicated to Yahweh. They will not be stored or hoarded, but her profits will go to those who live in Yahweh's presence, for them to have as much food as they want and splendid clothes. Okay, you know what? Oh my gosh, this just doesn't even make sense. And again, in order to have his rant here and his tirade, right? Okay, against what? God has to be pulled into it. Yeah. So, Martin, if you listen to this, you might want to listen to a few more of my videos because I'm doing this for the reputation of God. I absolutely agree. I rarely find any historic records on what actually is here in the Bible, and there should be, right? Yes? Okay. But that doesn't mean that we just disregard the guidance that we do get out of the Bible. Yes? I find it, and I've said this many times before, in the way that this city as a whore is described. And I've seen people do that just recently with where the whore of Babylon, they applied that to a woman, to actual woman living today. I'm going, you can't do that. That's not right. Misrepresent. Even though I don't really agree with a whole lot. Misrepresenting the fall of a city or whatever, and then suddenly attach that to a woman, the actual woman, due to the fact and what words that they used, that's wrong. That's just absolutely wrong. And again, what do I always say? Please don't use and abuse the Bible. Don't use it. Keep it. Teach it appropriately. Find the words of our Heavenly Parent, the guidance of our Heavenly Parent in this maze of, whatever. Yes? One could also look at it that Isaiah here in 23 is kind of warning the people of the dangers. Right? When you trade with other nations, beware that your foundation is strong. I say beware that your foundation is strong enough that you don't become addicted suddenly to something that's not being produced, here in your own surroundings, but then you have to go and what? Make some weird odd deals that probably shouldn't be made. Yes? To get what you want. And the other thing too is the influence of other nations. China is what? The government is what? I'm not saying the people are, but the government is what? Atheist, communists. We should beware when a communist atheist country suddenly dominates a field like our trade in such capacity. Yes? Okay. All right. Anyway, of course, if our foundation is strong enough in our belief, then we may be doing them some good by not getting, we'll support. We can have to give and take. But it's not going to be an overtake. Yes, it's going to be a give and take. All right. So, that's all I wanted to share this morning. Yes, may Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, embrace you with love. Eldridge, my dearest brother in faith, I love you. Let's keep praying. Yes, 1st of December is coming up. Just a quick, let's see, do I have time? Yeah. Quick update. That I got, True Mother, Holy Mother Han, a Mother of Peace. She's doing okay. She is doing okay, and I think that in the way that she shows that even in this dire circumstance for her, and where she is, that she's still full of light and pleasant and worried and cares about everybody else out there. It says, I'm good. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm good. And she shows it. She presents it as that as well. It's not just, I'm doing good. No, she's, yes. That's the strength that we need to show of True Mother. Yes? Even though she's not despairing. Yes, she's not frustrated. So, same for us. Yes? Keep on teaching. Keep on moving forward. Yeah, I can ask the questions. Why? Don't let your boys go. Do that anymore. I wouldn't. Ever, ever. Just because. All right, that's it. And I will talk to y'all another time.